What's good, family? Massive shout out to my doggy, Sean Sinfield, for boosting up your man the YB's coins. One love, General, no doubt. Now, on to today's topic. Lennox, the last GOAT, Lewis, has taken his revenge on Anthony Down Bad Johnston. Yeah, let's not forget, before we go into the actual update, let me give you, man, a bit of history, in case you don't remember. And I myself have to hold my hands in the air, because there was a time, 3 years ago I think now, when AJ and Lennox Lewis were getting into the beefs. Why were they getting into the beefs? Well, Lennox, who at the time I called Lennox the Hater Lewis, he was saying that Fury is the best in the world at boxing. I believed even on AJ's worst day, he would wipe the floor with Tyson Fury. And so did Anthony Johnston at the time believe that. And AJ didn't take well to the fact that basically Lennox Lewis was picking Fury over himself. And also Lennox made some quite explosive claims, i.e. AJ hasn't fought no one. AJ's been ducking the big two, i.e. Wilder and Fury. Wilder and Fury are the real two heavyweights, and obviously he had a preference towards Fury. That's what Lennox, at the time, Lennox the Hater Lewis's statement was. AJ clapped back and said, listen Lennox the Hater Lewis, I don't know what you've been, I don't know what planet you're from, but I run these sides. Yeah, I'm the only real champion from these sides. Don't no one know you in the UK. Yeah, you're some funny style Canadian, UK, USA, Jamaica, all over the place. You don't even know where you are, you're confused. That's what Anthony Johnston said. Anthony Johnston said, listen, Lennox the Hater Lewis, you're confused about where you're from. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to try and work out where you're from before you start talking about anything else about boxing. How about that? Anyway, let's fast forward now. So, they got into a bit of beef. It was heated. Super duper heated. And to be fair at the time, looking back now, that was really the last time we saw Mr. Anthony Johnston show any real minerals. Because it was really, ever since then, where's his minerals been at? I actually preferred them times. At least he showed some substance. Yeah, you haven't got to lick everyone's crack, Johnston. Do you understand? That showed a little bit, at least, I mean, it's natural to feel, what's the word? It's natural when someone slights you and says, oh, Fury and Wilder are the top heavyweights. It's natural to feel venomous towards that individual. That's healthy. It's healthy. Yeah? I'd rather you be ferocious and bark at the wrong tree sometimes than be soft and supple looking. And be giving your belts to your opponents. And be shaking their hand and raising their hand up after they've whooped your ass. And be kissing on, all that kind of stuff. Not into that myself. So yeah. Whilst we are where we are now, and Lennox Lewis was ultimately right, Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight right now. It did give me a minute to think, wow, how times have changed. AJ can't even get no venom for his opponent who's just whooped him. Never mind Lennox Lewis. Yeah, Lennox, the last true GOAT Lewis. Because what we know is, Lennox Lewis really was the last of a breed. Ever since then, the government been pumping estrogen into the water and everyone's soft looking. Even the Klitschko's, when you think about it, look at the Klitschko's career. Klitschko, not so much Vitaly, but Vladimir, he was really the first soft champion, super soft. Because really, the last of the old guard who fought Klitschko had a go on him, didn't they? Samuel Peters and them, man. Oh, was it Peters? I'm not sure, but you know what I mean. But them man from there, them early man, them 2005 man, the last of that real breed, the last of the real hard men, they had a go on Klitschko. Turned him out, made him look silly, punched him all around the ring. And that man who got punched around the ring by the old guard, and by the way, Vladimir didn't get punched round by the creme de la creme. He got punched round by the sea-level dudes. Do you understand? Sea-level dudes from the 90s punched up the unified, undisputed, 10-year undefeated champion of today. Do you understand? Because I'm not being funny yet. Even when you think about it, people say, oh, but YB, the Klitschko era was awful. So many things have changed since then. Well, really, look. Tyson Fury went life and death with Vlad and then ducked the rematch. Fact. So the reason I bring that up is to say that it's all well and good saying, well, the division was bad, but really, Vlad was more or less comfortable with all these men today as well, wasn't he? Because, like I said, Fury ran around the ring for 12 rounds, then ducked the rematch. So it's pretty much fair to say that the level was even there. I mean, it wasn't a schooling, was it? You can't sit there and say Tyson Fury schooled or boxed Klitschko's head off. And the same can be said for Anthony Johnson, to be fair. Both of them, in different ways, are similar performances. Both AJ and Tyson Fury, neither of them performances against Vlad can you say, wow, they were a class apart. They both went 50-50 in their own way, in my opinion. Which shows that for the last 20 years, Vladimir Klitschko really is in the same mix. He's in that, and I actually think he would have beat Wilder. So really, top guys of today, Wilder, AJ, Fury, Vlad, who got punched up by a C-level 90s dude. In fact, he got punched up by 2 C-level 90s dudes. Vlad, who is arguably the best of the bunch even today in 2021, C-level man was taking their turn on Vlad. Yeah, and guess what? Who's been telling you that? I've been telling you that, listen, truth is, people, C-level dudes from 90s would have a go on all these, man, truth be known. Honestly. I think Fury may be his height, but then again, look, Fury went life and death with Wilder in that last fight. Let's be real now, people. Fury went life and death with Wilder in that last fight. Yeah, he is the champ. Yeah, he won. I'm not knocking that. I've given him loads of credit, but let's call a spade here. Yeah? Wilder would... A whole bag of man would have a go on Wilder from the 90s, because he ain't got that. They're too gritty back then. They'd walk in there, the guard would be up, and they'd just wail all over him. I reckon Burt Cooper would have a go on Wilder. Seriously, two in, you know what I mean? 2 in the paint. Yeah, there'd be 2 in the paint, and that'd be that. Wilder can't fight in the paint. Yeah, that's what he can't do. He'd get chewed up. Fury, again, his attributes might end up nicking it, but really, no. I'm sorry. Fury went life and death in a toe-to-toe fight with Wilder, and we know Wilder can't fight toe-to-toe. Imagine what some of these men would do from the 90s, going toe-to-toe, just getting rough with him. Yeah? That's what I'm saying, people. But anyway, I'm not sure how I got onto that conversation, but listen. Lennox, the last true GOAT, Lewis, has taken his revenge on Anthony Johnson. Bottom line. Yeah? Like I've explained to you the beef, where it comes from. And I feel like at the time, AJ felt like, oh, I'm going to eradicate Lennox Lewis from the history books because I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Oops. Yeah. And I got so many goofy guys tell me, YB, you're wrong. AJ is like Lennox because he's only lost twice. And listen, Lennox, number 1, only lost twice for his whole career. And number 2, he only lost twice by getting caught. No one can knock you from getting caught. And even then, to be honest, Lennox got caught by full heavyweights. He didn't get caught by cruiserweights. Or he didn't get caught by Mr. Blobby. How about that? Yeah? Johnston's been caught by Mr. Blobby and been caught by a cruiserweight. So no, it's not the same. Even if that premise was correct, it's not. Yeah? Mr. Blobby and middleweight. You correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember Lennox Lewis getting punched up by Mr. Blobby. I don't remember Lennox Lewis getting punched up by middleweight either. So you man, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah? How about that? About it's to say, oh, YB, you're wrong, and you're barking at the wrong tree in your return code. No, Mr. Blobby and Cruiserweight punched you up. Yeah, how about that? What's wrong with these funny style guys? So yeah, AJ has failed miserably. It's got no one to blame but himself, because I've been saying from day, bring me in and we'll get it sorted. But nah, YB, he's got this other guy from the he got this other guy from the 70s, and all this, but he's got a special strategy from the 70s. Wait a minute, how that special strategy from the 70s playing out for you? Oh, got you punched up by a middleweight, nice. Yeah, let's see some more of that 70s style Johnston. Yeah, but anyway, Lennox Lewis, Lennox the last GOAT. Lewis is laughing all the way to the bank on this one. Yeah, as we know, I've reported on this a few days ago, Tyson Fury's been pumping out content, riding everyone really. He rode Wilder, rode Anthony Johnson, rode Alexander Usyk, rode Vladimir Klitschko. Everyone getting ridden right now. And the post was, he showed a picture of him, and it said, imagine explaining to the current heavyweight division to a non-boxing people. So yeah, the guy in the middle beat the other 2. And obviously he put a picture of AJ and Wilder looking like athletic gods. Meanwhile, you got I don't know what you'd call it. Mr. Blobby meets Mr. Stretch Long. Yeah, Mr. Blobby meets Arms. What's that? Arm Stretch Long? No, what's that? What's that guy called? Stretch Armstrong. That's it. Mr. Blobby meets Stretch Armstrong, aka Tyson Fury, circa 2016. How about that? It's bad right now. And the worst thing is, guess what? Lennox Lewis could have listened. Lennox Lewis is not someone who's active like that. He's not like someone like, I don't know, who's in the cut, always doing too much or whatever else. For example, I'm trying to think of someone as an example. Who's an example of a old cat who just does way too much? I'm trying to think. Maybe Floyd to an extent. Floyd be doing too much, but either way, the point is, Lennox Lewis, it's important to appreciate Lennox Lewis hitting that guy. He don't follow the news every day. He don't post on the news every day. So for Lennox Lewis to come out of nowhere, yeah, no one didn't ask him to comment on this. No one didn't ask him to snapshot this and post it on his Twitter. Do you understand? Do you get that now? Imagine that. Mr. Lennox Lewis, who probably barely don't even know how to use his phone, has snapped this from Instagram and plugged it on his Twitter. Oh, it's bad for Johnston. And you can just tell, Lennox Lewis, he laughing right now. 100%. And truth be known, Lennox Lewis, even at this age, I reckon probably punch up Johnson as well, truth be known. He probably would. What's he going to do? I mean, listen, there was a time I'd have told you a middleweight couldn't do nothing with Johnston, so please don't tell me that it's somehow something different. Yeah, for middleweight, if Alexander Jusic can get off all over Johnston, don't tell me that a 55-year-old can't, because for me they're more or less equivalents. What's the difference, really? Yeah? If a midge can get off on you, why not a 55-year-old man? I mean, where are we going to draw the line here, folks? I'll tell you where we're not going to draw it. Yeah? Because if you can, like I said, if a midge can jump on you and have a quick go, why can't Granddaddy? Why can't Granddaddy have a go too? You man forget that Anthony Johnston is an equal opportunity have a go on her. Yeah? He's an equal opportunity have a go on her. He loves everyone to have a go on him. If you're old, no matter if you're old, if you're small, if you're blobby, whatever your disability is, Johnston is more than happy to let you have a go on him. That's come here now. Is or is not Anthony Johnston an equal opportunity have a go on her? What? Oh, what? Did he stop Mr. Blobby having a go on him? Oh, did he stop shitting himself? Oh, did he stop himself? Did he stop himself? Did he stop himself from shitting himself for Mr. Blobby in the rematch? No. Did he stop Mr. Halfweight, middleweight, half pint having a go on him? No. So don't give me that rubbish. We know. Anthony Johnston is an equal opportunity. Donny, he loves everyone to have a go on him, no matter what. No matter what you are, if you're old, yeah, and that's what's I'm here. That's what's next. What's next is Lennox Lewis come back just to punch Johnson up after he punked him on Twitter. Because Lennox Lewis saw this tweet from Tyson Fury and tagged it and put it back out and said, "Listen, okay, that's funny." And not only that, he put a whole bunch of emojis as well. You know what these old cats are like. Old cats ain't trying to use no emojis unless they're really trying to have a dig. And then it's getting off all over Johnston right now. It's bad. What can I say? What do you want me to do? Yeah? It's on you, man, not me. I told you what was going to happen. Oh, no, YB, you see, he's got 3 belts. And no, he's a millionaire, YB. Who are you to say anything? Oops. Yeah? And now you got Lennox Lewis out of nowhere, jumping on you and having a quick go. Yeah? And rightfully so as well. I think every day Lennox should jump on Johnston. Why not? What's he going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah? What are you going to do? End up on the ropes again against middleweight?